Despite significant investments in malaria interventions over the last decades, Nigerians have not experienced results. The 30th anniversary of the Pest Control Association of Nigeria, Pecan, held on the 27th of November 2019 at the Providence Hotel's GRA Ikeja, Lagos, brought about diverse stakeholders and eminent personalities in Nigeria and provide solutions to the continuous spread of malaria through effective vector management. The event, which also marked the celebration of 30 years of the existence of the association, kicked off with opening prayer by the Bishop of Lagos West Anglican Communion, Reverend James Olushola, had in attendance dignitaries including the chairman of Elizadel Group of Companies, Chief Michael Adeojo, the CEO Masters Oil and Gas Limited, Mrs. Patience Dapa, wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, represented by Mrs. Funmi Omotosho, son of Afrobeat legend Seun Kuti, represented by his wife Yetunde, Dr. Bala Muhammad Audu, amongst others. Delivering a speech at the event, public health entomologist Professor Sam Awolola on the importance of controlling and preventing malaria said the disease has been existing for many years and has been fought in Europe, Asia and other parts of the world, adding that Nigeria and Congo are the most affected in the African continent. Speaking with Flip TV, the representative of the First Lagos State, Omotosho, the health sector is one of the major focus of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration, adding that necessary support will be given to the sector through adequate finance, research and donation.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is very interested in, he has a themes agenda, THEMES, themes, and the H is health. So the governor is very passionate about that's the second item on that agenda. So the Lagos State government and the Lagos State governor is very passionate about health. Just like I mentioned earlier, we've seen Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu visiting hospitals as a medical doctor of repute. She knows the importance of health, so that's why she's doing that. And apart from that, so many people, so many of the ESCO members also, the governor sent them to hospitals to see first-hand experience of what is happening in the hospital. So primary health care is very, very paramount in the heart of this government.
The CEO Masters Energy Oil and Gas Limited, Mrs. Patience Dapa, one of the recipients of the awards, says she has been a partner of the initiative and will continue to support the group to achieve desired goals.
I've been associated with the association for some time, and I've been following their good work. I think today really told me that they are there to eliminate malaria. And from what they have put together today, I think that they can go places. And with all the support I saw today, I know that they are there to eliminate malaria throughout Nigeria.
Speaking of the strategies employed to combat malaria and expressing his happiness as the newly installed Pecan president, Mr. Olakunle Williams, shared the experience of the past years and stressed the need for more involvement of the private sector and injection of funds to achieve desired goals.
Yes, we're trying to get a crop of, stakeholders together so that we can partner and attack malaria through another perspective. That is the vector control perspective. A lot of organizations have been doing a lot. Of course, insecticide-treated nets have been distributed in play, and it has really helped. But of course, if you listen to the paper that was delivered, it's a multi-pronged approach. So we have to approach it from everywhere. The problem we've always had is, maybe just one approach, focusing on one approach. But we as vector control consultants are now bringing our expertise to fore and then presenting it to the malaria community, malaria elimination community that let's also partner with you and let us go down to the community, rural communities where there's so much poverty, where a lot of them can't afford daily application of insecticide and all that, so that we can give some back to the society. So we're asking the big ones, the big players in the malaria to come, join hands with us, state governments, local governments, corporate organizations, so that we can put our efforts and fight this scourge.
The event also witnessed conferment of awards, launching and inauguration of the new national president and the executives.
that cannot differentiate morphologically with the eyes. You need high-tech machine and equipment to detect those mosquitoes. Unfortunately, we are a country where research is not being considered as a very strong power to move on. This species, based on our research in Nigeria, these are all the species of mosquito, anopheles mosquitoes that we're able to find. Several of them in Nigeria. Some of them are transmitting malaria parasites, some don't at all. So the presence of mosquito in the environment does not mean malaria is there. The presence of an anopheles mosquito in this room does not mean malaria will be in this room. So because many of them does not transmit malaria parasite. Again, you can see them, we have different species. It's based on research that we're able to identify which one can involve malaria transmission. We're in a place where we wanted to control malaria some time ago, and all the mosquitoes we find in the environment do not transmit the parasite. And if you put an intervention there, it's a waste of resources. They have different biting behavior. Wonderful organism. Some of them bite inside the houses, and they are called, they will say they are endophili. They stay inside the houses. Some of them stay outside, we say they are esophili. Some of them feed on human inside. Yes, we refer them as endophagy, and some of them feed outside, and we refer them as esophagy. What brings that behavior? And we say they are just ordinary organisms. We need to recognize the fact that these are great creatures that are also adapting to the environment that we live in. There's a lot of things that is happening, and the most important thing is this that I highlighted here, adaptation. In those days, when we were taught in school, we were taught that, see, the mosquitoes that transmit malaria breathe in clean water. Is that what we were taught? Is that right? No. We are taught that they breathe in clean water, but that's not anymore. They breathe anyway. They are adapting to the environment. Wonderful organism. Now, these are the effective measures that we know about, that we do with larvicidin, the pest control association do larvicidin, environmental management, biological control. All these items are being done, but why are these mosquitoes still surviving today? This is what we know quite well, larvicidin. Biological control is not possible with us here today. The reason being is very simple. Our drainage systems are very poor, and if you want to do biological control, it's virtually impossible. You need an environment to be very clean if you want to do biological control. And the objective of larvicidin, which is one of the key points that the Pecan want to employ, the objective is very clear. Is to prevent vector species from reaching adult stage by using either chemical or biological methods. But again, it has its own limitation. I said vector control, effective vector control has to be well planned. If we need to do larvicidin in Lagos State, for instance, it has to be well planned for. It's not everybody that can do it. You find people going around in Lagos State, for instance, say, you want to fumigate your compound. You want to do RS. That is not vector control. It has to be well planned for. It has to be done in an area where you can find the inhabitant to control. In fact, the WHO refers to it as the lab building site must be few, it must be fixed, and it must be findable. How many breeding sites do you have in Lagos to do larvicidin? The bank of the Lagos Lagoon alone, I will show very soon, has breeding site that it will take us 1 year to larvicidin. It has its own advantage, has one setback. I don't want to take too much time here, but I want to quickly go to this. We know quite well as well, the measure that we take against the adult mosquitoes. I don't need to waste so much time, but I want to point make a point on this is things that we know that we use against adult. That's all these challenges. But I want to make this point. But the use of long-lasting methods. How many of us use long-lasting methods? We know it very well. Long-lasting nets. It's available. How many people have long-lasting nets? Let me see one. Long-lasting nets. Malaria. Can you see? How many people have long-lasting nets? Chairman, sir. Long-lasting nets. You don't have it, sir. But how many people use it? Just 2 hands. And you want to get rid of malaria. Now, the big problem with this is that now the mosquitoes have developed resistance to the insecticide we use for the long-lasting nets. You find mosquitoes dancing on long-lasting nets. So that's a big problem here, insecticide resistance. And as long as the net does not kill the mosquitoes, that's the problem. And this is the most potent tool we have at the moment, long-lasting nets. They are effective, but the mosquitoes have designed their own way of surviving the insecticide put on the net. So what should we do? What should we do? I'm going to get rid of malaria. Indoor resistant spray. This is well established in Lagos State. This is well established in Lagos State. And it's a very effective method of controlling mosquitoes. Again, all the insecticide being used for this program, all these insecticides you see here that are well established by WOPES, by WHO, the mosquitoes have developed resistance to this insecticide. And we call them ordinary mosquitoes. We need to get to the level and think and see that these are wonderful organisms. That the more you plan for them, the more they also plan to exist. This is what in biology we call survival of the fittest. They are organisms, as you plan, they also plan for you. They might not say, I delivered a lecture some time ago, and they said it's not the fault of the mosquitoes. Because the mosquitoes are also affected by malaria. They also have malaria, and they don't complain. They do have malaria, and they die of malaria, and they don't complain. And it's not their fault. Blood is not the food of the mosquitoes, sir. Blood, they just need blood to continue survival of them from one generation to the next. Their food is not blood, their food is sugar and nectar. But what they need to produce the next generation is blood. So it's not their fault. They are existing organisms. So they develop all resistance to every insecticide you can think of. And therefore, one single method will not control mosquitoes. So if there's any message I'm making today, is that no one size fits all. One method will not control mosquitoes. We need integrated vector management. What does that mean? Bringing all control tools together in a systematic way. That's the only thing that will control malaria. Unfortunately, we are living in a dangerous time. The environment is changing. So what do? Look at this. This is a community where I do a lot of work. And I'm sure you can see clearly this place. Everybody knows this. Many of us have passed through this road this morning. This is the Lagos the Terminal Bridge. So you know what I'm talking about. Or I wrote it there. Now, if you have environment like this, and like this, and this, which intervention do you want to put there? Eh? What? I can't hear you. Okay, dynamite. All this in dynamite. Now, the truth of the matter is that in this environment, sir, in this environment, it's an aggregate of mosquitoes. They breed in their millions and in thousands. And you also know that Lagos State Housing Corporation, housing whatever, has sophisticated, structure around this. And these people had the highest body of malaria in central Lagos, this environment. But to my surprise, if you see the quality of the people that comes out from Makoko, you don't believe it. People well dressed every morning, and you want to get rid of malaria in this kind of environment. It will be very difficult. We need to ensure that our environment are not like this. If not, we don't have to get rid of malaria. We need a system that will take care of both the breeding sites for the fancy health. These are mosquito larvae that are breeding around human body. This is a structure, and this breeding site is right by the side of the house, and the mosquitoes are just emerging from their pupae and going straight to the house. What a wonderful environment for them to live. We need to do everything possible to get rid of this kind of environment. Have we learned any lesson from the past? There's one of the best programs executed so far for malaria in the world was in Nigeria. The famous Gaki project, a WHO funded project in 1969. It's a program that included everything, but it was a big failure. It happens in the current Jigawa state. It used to be the Kano, but it was a big failure. And one of the problems why that program failed was the issue of mosquito developing resistance to the insecticide. As it was then, so it is today. Mosquito continue to develop resistance to insecticide. My last few points. Since the year 2000 to 2016, we try to look at the pattern of malaria in Nigeria. And we realized that from the year 2000 to 2005, malaria has decreased a bit from here to this place. If you look at this arrow, and the graph is coming down to this level. Since then, it has reached a plateau. From 2010 to 2016, it has reached a plateau. Whatever intervention is put there, no much effect. If you like put more bed net there, no much effect. And what it's telling us that there's something going wrong. Could it be because the mosquito have continue to develop resistance to the insecticide? Big question, we don't know. But something must be done. Unfortunately, most of our intervention are donor driven. I will repeat again. Most of our intervention are donor driven. Donor driven. Local content is on paper. Funding for malaria is almost going down to zero, country-wise. It depends on the Gates Foundation, it depends on the Global Fund, it depends on the DFID, it depends on the Canadians. That will not eliminate malaria from us. We must take responsibility and own it. It's our problem. I gave a lecture at OAU sometime last year. I said, why is it that malaria has not resurfaced in the US? Why? In the Americans, in Brazil, even which is more of Amazon, our mosquito went to colonize the Amazon area in Brazil, but they had to control it. Why has it not surfaced? Somebody said it came behind the scene after my lecturer said it's the politics of malaria. You didn't hear that? You didn't hear it? He said it's the politics of malaria. And I seem to agree partly with him. Why are we not making That's a place in Ekiti State. F1 the KBC said I should come. He will teach me how to control malaria. And I went there. And he said, you see this community? It's called F1. And he told me a lot of stories. I don't want to share everything here. But the truth of the matter is that they have local content. They show me why. And it's not that hilly, high altitude, mosquito don't survive in high altitude. It's not a very high altitude. It's not very high. It's a bit, but it's not very high. But I've been into Jos, higher than that, but you have mosquitoes in those areas, in Jos. So he said, in ants, because they have their own local way of ensuring that the mosquito does not survive in their community. And malaria prevalence, I have a colleague in Federal University of Ekiti who is doing a lot of research in that environment. Malaria is very low. Very low. Local content. They have their own way. So I think it's important to make use of this approach, all this approach we mentioned, but let's also think of the local content. What do we have to do locally to ensure that malaria does not become something of the past? So, this is WHO approach for malaria elimination, and this is my favorite slide. WHO says when you have slight positivity rates of around 5%, what did I say is our percentage? 27%. Remember where I started from? Say 27%. WHO says when you have slight positivity rate of less than 5%, then you are doing malaria control. You are about to move from control to pre-elimination. In Nigeria, it took us almost 10 years to move from 40% to 27%. You can do the calculation. It took us 10 years to move from 40% to 27%. But here we are saying that to move from control to pre-elimination, you must have less than 5%. And Nigeria still has 27%. Then from there, if you have less than one case in 1,000 population, then you have moved from pre-elimination to elimination. Then from there, you have 0 local case. Local. They are not saying imported cases. Okay? 0 local case. Then you have malaria elimination. And that must be sustained for a period of 3 years with 0 local transmission. Then you have eliminated malaria. I hope it's not too complicated. It's very easy. Then you can work out the mathematics. How long it will take us to move from 27%. Meanwhile, the 27% is an average of the country. We still have country where malaria states in Nigeria where the prevalence is around 60%, 65%. One of the good states is Niger State. You go towards Kenji area. It's my favorite place in Nigeria, where you have the Kenji Dam. You see malaria prevalence of 70% in the population, 80% in the population. Everybody almost have it. A parasite that dancing, mosquito in a room, 300, 400, 500 in a room. Those communities exist. And to get to elimination, we must have the local content. We must take it as a responsibility. It's a problem. It's affecting. I hate hearing every morning in the newspaper that children die of malaria. It has become a statistic in the country. Yes, children are pregnant women die of malaria. It's nothing news. You can't post anymore because they call it ordinary malaria. That's what we call it now, ordinary malaria. When a child doesn't go to school, say, what does he have? Ordinary malaria. It's not ordinary. Unfortunately, it's not ordinary. I was giving my inaugural lecture and I said this. I was at Post-Revolutionary Castle village, Ishara, in 2011. And I saw this young child, 3-4 years. And the mother was just rubbing her with red oil. Red oil from the top to the and the temperature was high, it was around 38 degrees. And I said, oh, Abikuni, that he normally go and come. And this baby, this young boy has severe malaria. The temperature was, and before we know, before I went back and came back, it was gone. And we actually rushed into the hospital. The autopsy showed that he has cerebral malaria. Cerebral malaria is the malaria that goes into the brain and affect the brain cells. And that's how we lost this one to malaria. And we say it's ordinary. It's not ordinary. Several cases of Obanje and Abiku are cases of malaria undetected. And so it's not ordinary malaria. But the point I'm making this morning, that our local content should be very strong than what the donor are giving to us. Insecticide resistance, I mentioned it, it's increasing in Nigeria and nobody cares. When we first detected this, myself and Mama Malaria in 2003, we reported this case of mosquito in Nigeria surviving in the factory. The mosquito in Nigeria survived with insecticide. Nobody bothered. They said, no, let's continue to give it. Today, we know better. Today, we know that we wasted millions of dollars importing nets. Today, the same thing is happening. The best net that we should put in the right place, the politics of malaria is playing out. The nets that are supposed to be in the right place are not being put there. The wrong net are being put there. There should be something must be done. Our health system must be strong enough to say no to this kind of interventions. Intervention that think that will work for us in the country should be used. Those that think will not work in particular area should be thrown away. There's no point putting nets that will be just useless in those places. And it's happening today. In fact, the net is going to my state. I will not mention from where I come from. And I was with the Commission of Health. I said, no, don't accept it. It's wrong. There are better tools in the market that we can use in Ocean. Oh. So I'm sorry. I've let the cat out of the bag. So my time is almost spent. What is the way forward? Right now we don't have, we are dealing with an organism that is a moving target. Mosquito is a moving target. And when you are dealing with a moving target, you have to strategize very well. And you must be able to think out of the box. Thinking out of the box is bringing our local context strong in the controlling of vectors. There's a component we forget to mention. 80% of all malaria transmission occur when people are inside the houses. 80% of transmission. What of people that sleep outside? How do you control it? Right now you have a lot of IDPs, isn't it? How do they control malaria in IDP camps? When our health system are not strong enough to ask those questions, what do we do to ensure that those people displaced are protected against malaria? This is an area where the country has to start thinking of. In conclusion, today we don't have a vaccine for malaria. A vaccine would be a wonderful tool to eliminate malaria, but we don't have it. In the absence of that, the best bet is to ensure that we have a very strong vector control program. Not just one intervention, an integrated approach that will look at both the vector, the pupae, the adult mosquito, and the health system. That's the only way you can get rid of malaria and ensure that we live a very good environment for the next generation. Thank you.
Pest Control Association of Nigeria, we wish to honor you and hope that all these connections in malaria, you will bring them to bear in Pecan, in Jesus' name. On behalf of Pecan, we award you and induct you into the Guild of the Malaria Vector Partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
accept this, we appreciate you for all that you have done. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.
We love you.
Because it's keeping that dynasty stronger and stronger every day. We are presenting this to you.
Award to you on behalf of Pest Control Association of Nigeria. In the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Congratulations. Congratulations.
On behalf of Pecan, I give this to you, Mr. Akinbonua. Thank you very much. Thank
you. On behalf of Pecan, I present this great award to you, in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
Pecan is Pest Control Association of Nigeria, association of people of like minds who are ready to eradicate pests from the country. We have been doing our best. It's only that we need more empowerment. The empowering word should come to us to make sure people does the job.
Pecan, as I've gathered, is an association that's been in existence for about 30 years, and they are trying to deal with malaria and malaria parasites and pest control. And it's an association that is well known. But it will be better known now with the new president coming into place. And I can give you a word. The person that's been elected as the president today has a lot of experience in this, wide investment in everything he lays it out in doing. So I see a new beginning, to the association.